Hello and welcome back. It's Laura at Hyperstamper. I really am excited to show you this sweet, beautiful journal. This is from the early 1900s and it had an image, which if you peel this up, you would see it. It's of pirates. Not the most pretty image, and I do like using pretty. The book was called Smugglers, all from the very early 1900s, pre-1910. And I added some vintage beads. This is from 3 different vintage necklaces, and they just matched the colors perfectly. I was very excited. And I took this image of the butterfly from this 1800s book here, the Jones Reader, and it's a woodblock print. And if anybody ever wants to know the difference between a woodblock print and a steel block print, I will happily explain it to you. Just email me below. This one is William Wordsworth, and it's To a Butterfly, a beautiful little poem there. And this is the bottom half of the poem that I've added up there. And let me take you on a little journey through the inside of this beautiful 4-signature junk journal. This is an Edith Holden, and it's not a new plate. This is a plate actually that is 52 years old. So this was from the early 70s, and I was very lucky to have it, and I still have some pages from that book. This little pocket here is made from an 1899 newspaper, and there is a unused hanky in here. It was never purchased, so it's brand new but very old. Isn't that beautiful? And the workmanship on it is really quite pretty. A 1955 stamp collector's page here, and then this is an 1890s watch guardsman dial, which is very cool. That would have clocked their working hours. And a vintage playing card here of a Victorian woman. 1930s children's book page here. And on the back, I've done a waterfall journaling spot here, and just a nice little journaling envelope here made out of also an antique book page. So everything in here is authentic antique and vintage ephemera, and you can find all of my journals at hyperstamper.etsy.com, and for North Americans the shipping is free, which saves you a lot of money. There we go. So this is a beautiful 1920s page, a book of nature, and it's beautiful. The prints in here are so well done for the time period that they were taken. That's a vintage recipe card. It's a real one, not tea-dyed, which is pretty cool. Children's book page here. This is a 100-year-old map out of a geography book, and this one is Italy. Look how they spelt Romania. I just think that's hilarious. And Southern Europe. And you'll see on here that a lot of the geography has since changed in the last 100 years, which is pretty fascinating. More of that nature book page, more 1930s children's book page, just lovely colorful images there. This here is from 1920s, and it is from a music book, and it's November 1920. And just little articles here about songs. And look at this beautiful thing here. It's wonderful Paderewski. Just lovely imagery. Even the font, everything about it is fascinating to me and beautiful. This is from 1850s. This is Jenny Lind. That is also another wood plate print. And over here is Bernardo. And then this is a beautiful plate from 1904. And that is, look at that, isn't that beautiful? I have a whole series of these coming out, but that is from England. Really stunning. You could frame that if you wanted, but you've got a little journaling spot under here hidden. Some really cool ephemera clusters in this book. This here is from 1922, and it is the Odd Fellows Relief Association of Canada. I just think that's really cool. February 17, 22. This little guy wants to be stubborn. There we go. Just some really cool vintage newspaper clippings here. A 1950s pearl shop receipt. And this here I got, was giant, like giant. It's the graduating class in 1964 at the St. John Vocational School. And you've got to see these hairdos. I never saw so many bouffant hairdos in my life as on this. So you're going to see a lot of these. I was able to cut them up. As you can see, somebody had actually thrown these out, and I pulled them out of a recycling bin. They were perfectly clean, and you can journal on the back. So how cool is that? Really, that was a real find for me. Then I have here a little children's book page on the back there, and a vintage postcard. Look at this beautiful little fox here from 1955. And then this here is written in 1887, handwritten in ink and quill. That was a business letter from I believe a newspaper. This is cool, from the 1800s, The Lady's Letter Writer, How to Write Letters. This is if you are complaining of not receiving a letter, how to write that letter. A lady on sending her miniature to her suitor. Wow, how cool is that? This is a 1930s book jacket, dust cover. And you can journal on the inside of there as well. More of this fun letter writing for ladies. After a Misunderstanding. Oh my God, this is so fun. This is from 1925, one of my favorite book of plates. Look at the colors on there. In Between Colors. And this is from an art lessons book. Color wheel, 1930s again. This is a really cool piece from the 1890s. Look at its advertisement for baby soap. Isn't that cool? I put some antique paper on the back so you could journal on there. This is one of my favorite plates ever. These two bunnies running through the forest, and I just think it is so sweet. I was going to save it for an Easter journal, but I wanted to include it here. This is spectacular. I don't have a lot of these, but I am giving this one up. It is from the old the cigarette companies. If you bought a pack of cigarettes way back in the early 1900s, you could collect these. Sometimes tea companies did the same thing, but this one is just a beautiful flower one here, and I love it. You can Google on the back here. They actually have some value and definitely are collectible. This is a beautiful doily here, and I've actually glued that down just to decorate that page. I just think it's fabulous. That is an antique. This here also from the 1940s, I believe, and it was done up, remember those photocopiers you would turn and it would go through the ink and it smelled really good? Oh, it smelled good to me. Look at this beautiful little page here from the 1930s. These kids are painting Christmas cards. This is one of those collectible books that I've been using. This is a German one here, Lux Lesebogen. And look at this. This one is all on little squirrels and, oh my God, chipmunks and such. Really, really sweet. Again, very collectible. You can check that out on Etsy as well. And this is from a 1950s children's book. And that is for students' book. There's the other half of that. 30s Monopoly money, another journaling envelope card, really sweet little 1930s children's book page. And I love this vintage dictionary page with the old telephone. That's telling of how old it is, right? Quite love it. There's the flip side of that plate. Look at that beautiful winter scene here. The colors are just mesmerizing. Really like this one here, this vintage dictionary page. Did some hand stamping there, an embroidery book page, 50s, and a Polish embroidery book there. This is the actual interior spine of this book, and I turned it into a belly band. And here I have a music book page from the 50s. This was a teen music book, kind of like Tiger Beat was for me. Benny Goodman, swing band. Just look at records, 12 cents a song. iTunes charges a bit more. All right, another children's book page piece there. And more design. Bobbsey Twins pocket here from the 50s. And I really, really like this here. What's new? Look at, we pay big money for these retro, mid-century, modern pieces. Put some antique paper back there so that you could find more spots to journal. And as well on this one here, beautiful little 1930s children's book page. And if you pull this out, there's another piece here with more journaling space on the back from antique paper. Isn't that cool? There's another one. This book here has 4 plates from this art book, and that makes me quite excited. And at the very back here, look at that, so beautiful how to draw those animals. I just put a couple of interesting little antique book pieces here for fun, just in case you want to collage with them or just enjoy them. So there we go. Hyperstamper.etsy.com. I hope you love it as much as I loved making it. Bye for now.